In this video, I want to go over the difference between the Prospector tab and the Settings tab, and I also want to go over layer management and how Civil 3D puts stuff on layers, depending on which template you're using and where the layer goes. So the first thing is on Prospector tab. Well, let's start here. If you don't have the tool space bar up, then you're going to come to the Home tab and you're going to click on Tool Space. Now, Tool Space has various tabs over here. There's a Prospector, a Setting, a Survey, and a Toolbox. The Prospector is basically where you're doing all of your work. All your design is through this Prospector. The Settings tab makes everything look a certain way. Survey has its own tools, and the Toolbox is another set of tools. So basically in this course, we're going to be looking at Prospector and Setting and possibly the Survey, but focusing on these two to begin with. Now, when you're looking at putting labels on information or design, underneath the settings, you need to take a look at the different layers that things are turned on and off. I know in one of the videos that I posted, there was a little confusion on the Ciano layer. So I want to go ahead and type in LA. And in this, you've got C, and there's no Ciano, okay? So the reason that is if I take a look at your settings, and I'm going to click underneath General and label styles for right now, but this works for all of them. If I say bearing over distance, let's take a look at that one, and I edit that. It is putting it on layer 0. It is not a good idea to have everything on layer 0, so you can make the layer a new layer called C-, I'm big on capital letters also, Ano. And I'm going to make it actually yellow. Okay, okay, and I'm going to go okay. Now it's on Ciano, Ano. Apply, and okay. I'm going to do it again on the bearing over distances, and you would want to make sure that you don't have to make the new layer, you just have to use the layer. This allows you to isolate information. I'm going to do it again for distance only. So you want to do this on, and I just hit the C button to drop it down. Ano, apply, and okay. You want to do this type of thing when you have a template at your new job, or to check out the template at your new job. So I'm going to click on the Annotate, and I'm going to add labels. Click here at the top. I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to go line and curve. I'm going to do a single segment bearing and distance and add. And I'm going to click here. All right, now, here is the other thing. In the layout, depending on how tall this is, I'm going to right click, I'm going to click on the bearing and distance, and I'm going to edit that. Now, the layout says it's a height of 0.01. Typically, to me, the height looks best at 0.075. Okay, and you'll have to pull down the bearing and go 0.075, and then you're going to pull down, go over to the dragged and go 0.075. This actually makes it look the best. Apply, and okay. All right. You'll want to make sure of your other ones. When you get into the other videos, you may or may not have to do this. I may have already set up this information. Now, in the Layout tab, we already know that it's going to Ciano. In the Layout tab, you can see the bearing, the distance, and a tag label. The bearing, we're going to make text height of 0.07. The distance, we're going to make it 0.075. I'm sorry, the other one was 0.075, and the dragged is 0.075. I'll show you what I mean by dragged. And okay. So if I click on this, I can change that style. And see how it's on the 0 layer? It should be on the Ciano layer. This is the only thing I'm not really a fan of Civil 3D on. It's a, if you had it set up out of the box a little bit better than what I have, but I'm just using what I've got right now. Okay, so these are the different styles. And you'll make sure that it's on the proper layer. CNO. All right. Okay, now, so if it dragged is meaning like that. Dragged could be like that. All right, so the other thing is depending on what your scale is what you want here. Also, annotative means you need to turn these two buttons on for them to print. If I go to layout, and I double click on the inside of the viewport and go zoom extents. Oh, it must be locked. Double click on the outside. Oh, I need to turn everything back on. Select similar, turn everything back on, and close and reach in. Okay. It appears I've lost my viewport. So I'm going to type in mview. Double click on the inside. Zoom extents. I'm going to change this scale right here to 1 to 20. And I'm going to zoom out, find that over here, and set my scale at 1 to 20. All right, so you can see this text height. Go ahead and lock it. If I measure this text height, and I'm just eyeballing this, see the height? 0.079. Okay. A lot of people like 0.1, so edit. 0.1 might look a little, we'll do a comparison. Apply and OK. And then region. LA. Oops. I gotta edit that one more time, sorry. I need to pull it out on the dragged state. Bearing over distance. Apply. And layout. 0.1. Bearing. 0.1, just to give you a feel. Apply and OK of what the text height looks like. So this one is, change that to bearing over distance, and region. Also, you'll want this scale here to be at the correct scale of 1 to 20. And then go back to the Layout tab. Oops. All right. My computer just locked up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just pause here. But that's how you change your annotation. So on the projects. So we'll get more into that throughout the semester. Also, I have the scale is back to 1 to 20. Oh, wrong one. Usually I lock my layers too. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, but that's how you adjust your annotative scales. So let me go one more time. I want to check one more thing. Okay, so you can see the difference in the text height of 0.1 and 0.075. So when you're using maybe a 20 scale, you can pick how dense of information is in there between 0.1 and 0.075. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop now. If you've got any more questions, just let me know.